Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brandon Morbilius. Alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy, live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. We have Lady Raider Volleyball coming your way here this evening. Folks, we have the 13-5 Shenandoah Lady Raiders taking on your 9-2 Wapahani Lady Raiders. A MEC Conference showdown here tonight, folks. Should be a great one. Glad to have all you with us here as we'll begin things here with our Raiders Live pregame edition, presented by the Barn Lot. Wapahani, their last time out was last Thursday, in which the Raiders unfortunately went down defeat to the hands of the Muncie Burris Owls in a hard-fought ball game their last Thursday night. So back at it here this evening. You've had a couple of good practices hopefully here and get back to the grind of things, with quite a few volleyball games here this week. We got 4 of them on tap for you here throughout the week. Tonight, then tomorrow at Madison Grant. Back home Thursday night against another MEC Conference team in Randolph Southern. And then Saturday night, we'll be welcoming the Southwood Lady Knights to Raider Gymnasium. So 4 games here in roughly about 6 days. And we're very eager to get tonight's ball game underway. Like I said, Shenandoah has had a very, very good start to their season. It's going to be a tough game for us. So I think there's definitely a lot of excitement built up for this one, and hopefully Wapahani can answer the call here this evening, put forth a great effort, and hopefully get the victory. But like I mentioned, their last time out against Muncie Burris, things didn't go quite as well. It was still a very good ball game, highly competitive. But just unfortunately, the Raiders were unable to get the job done. So hopefully they learned a thing or two since then, and they've gotten a little bit better, and hopefully be able to come out here and take care of business. Shenandoah here on the season really hasn't played a whole lot of real tough teams, but they have had some highly competitive games. Newcastle, obviously one of those teams that poses a big-time threat, and really outside of them, they really haven't played a whole lot of much of anybody. So, we'll see what happens. Records can always, I guess, be deceiving, but I think Shenandoah is definitely the real deal. I think they have a very impressive volleyball program there, good coaching staff. So they're going to be ready to get things going here tonight, especially considering it is a conference game. Every team wants to win their conference. So it's going to be a tough task here tonight, but hopefully, like I said, Wapahani will answer the call and come out here and take care of business early and often. Really, for me, especially here this evening, it all starts with minimizing some of our little mental errors. So many times in the ball game last week there against Burris, we was just making little mistakes here and there, and those little mistakes will cost you, especially if you continue to make those mistakes over and over and over again. And, if you can minimize those little mistakes, and, it's going to happen still from time to time, but minimize them as much as possible, you're going to give yourself a chance to win, no matter who you're playing against, whether it be a really good team, or just a regular, so-so team. So the Raiders of Wapahani, I guess I should say, since we're playing the Shenandoah Raiders here tonight, Wapahani has to come out here, get it started early and often, get off to a good start here. Service pressure, I think, is always extremely important. Like I said, capitalize on the other team's errors, and then offensively, you got to get it going. We've seen plenty of great offensive players through the years out here at Wapahani. We have a really, what I think, still a very good offensive group out here, led by Estella Davis. Obviously you still have Sarah Orm that can get the job done. Mallory Summers really came on the scene here within the past year or so, in her sophomore year. So she's, she can be big time. And you're going to look towards other girls. I know Cadence Brewer looks like, at least for the time being, she's going to be, playing some valuable time in the varsity rotation, coming in here as a freshman. So, you got a bunch of ladies here that's expected, a lot from them, and you just got to go out there and play as good as you can every single day. Don't necessarily worry about, gosh, well, I hope I don't mess up. Well, you never want to mess up, but if you continue to think that way, more than likely you probably will mess up. So just know your role on the team. Come out here, take care of business, and hopefully the Raiders, like I said, can get the job done. A big MEC conference game here tonight, so hopefully they come out here from the get-go and are able to find some momentum and some confidence and ride the wave, and hopefully it'll be a good one. So we have roughly about 2 minutes or so to go until tonight's starting lineups, national anthem coming up, a lot of different things going on. So we will go ahead and take a pause in action here. Like I said, we have about 1.5 minutes to go. I do want to say a little something here briefly. Obviously, this being September 11th and everything, obviously a very, Memorial Day from the standpoint of, such a tragedy that we all had here in the United States of America 17 years ago on September 11, 2001. We just want to once again just send our prayers to all the victims' families. I know, the hurt will never go away, but as hopefully as a country we continue to get stronger, come together, and hopefully learn a little something from this, so hopefully things won't happen like that again. But we just do want to continue to send our thoughts and prayers to all the victims' families. And God bless America, that's for sure. Gotta love the good old U.S. of A. So, folks, we'll go ahead and step aside here for a break. We have, again, the national anthem coming up, and then tonight's rosters, and then the start of tonight's game again between the visiting Shenandoah Lady Raiders taking on your home Wapahani Lady Raiders. We'll be back with more here on the WHS Network.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be.
All righty, welcome back there, Raider fans. Brandon Warbilius again alongside with me. It's cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. We'll take a look here at tonight's rosters for both teams. First for visiting Shenandoah. Start off here with number 2, Jayla Lewis. Also number 3, Riley Johnson. Number 5, Audrey Duncan. Number 7, Lexi Price. Number 8, Jenna Stewart. Number 12, Allison King. Number 14, Cameron Buck. Number 16, Kara Sergine. Number 18, Kelsey Baker. Number 20, Erica Hill. Number 22, Faith Muterspaw. And number 27, Bridget Lowry. The Shenandoah Raiders are coached by Josh McIntyre. Now for your Wapahani Lady Raiders, start off here at number 4, Haven Gates. Number 5, Emily Stewart. Number 6, Estella Davis. Number 7, Sarah Orm. Number 8, Allison Stewart. Number 9, Mallory Summers. Number 11, Emma Shuck. Number 12, Cameron Curry. Number 13, Maddie Webb. Number 15, Layla Lee. Number 16, Olivia Smith. And number 17, Cadence Brewer. Lady Raiders coached by Jared Richardson, assisted by Jenna Easton and Katina Nichols. So again, that's tonight's rosters here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Again, glad to have all you with us here this evening, folks. Hopefully we're in store for a great ball game here tonight, a big-time MEC conference game. And hopefully Wapahani can take care of business here tonight and continue their winning ways in conference play. So let the fun begin. Stewart with the set up to Davis. That will be dug out there. Now set up to Duncan. And that will be saved, kept alive, but then hit up in the air a couple different times. And that will be a point here for Shenandoah to begin things. That'll be dug out by Summers. Tipped over the net. There's Gates. Summers with a setup to Davis. Pop that one there in the back row. Duncan back on the attack once again. And 2 hits called on Wapahani. So again, as you see there on the scoreboard, we definitely want to do something here this evening. Obviously, with it being September 11th, talked about that before we went to break just moments ago. But we did want to do something to memorialize this being 9/11 and the day that it represents, tragedy and sorrow, but also hope that possibly one day we can get back to country coming together once again. So a 4-0 lead early here for Shenandoah. Very surprising start to this ball game. There's Summers. Now Davis back on the attack, and there we go. Off the hands there of Allison King as Wapahani will get on the board for the first time tonight. Summers will be back to serve. Set up there by Lewis to Duncan, and off the hands of Gates. Orm won't get there. And Wapahani having a tough go of it here so far. I need to shake out the cobwebs here, so to speak, as we will see number 20, Erica Hill, now in the ball game for Shenandoah. I believe that is number 22, Muterspaw, back there to serve. Really kind of hard to see these numbers. They blend in so good with the rest of the jersey. Set again to Duncan. Back on the attack is Stewart, blocked, and that one's going to be inbounds. So now a 6-1 Shenandoah lead. Will be dug out and shanked over to the right side. Wouldn't be surprised if we might see a timeout here taken within the next point or so. You don't want this game to get too far out of hand. They're already down 7-1. Will be dug out by Gates. Summers sets it to Davis. And there we're able to get one to fall in there, make it 7-2. And substitution here for Shenandoah. We'll see number 7, Lexi Price, now in the ball game. And also back in here will be the libero, number 27, Lowry. Olivia Smith back to serve. Dug out. Setting out a that was Hill. Now Orm on the attack and able to find the back corner. Great placement by the Raiders senior, Sarah Orm. Got to keep chipping away. Dug out there, Lewis with a set up to Hill. Gates flying through the air, gets there in time. Now Orm again back on the attack and is able to land in another kill. Like to see this nice start here from Sarah Orm. And that's just a bit out of bounds. Smith puts a little bit too much behind that one, as it's a 8-4 Shenandoah lead in tonight's opening set. Lewis was back there to serve. Summers just soft tip over the net. Now Hill with the left hand. Summers over to Orm. And again, keeping the defense off balance. Another well-placed ball here by Sarah Orm. In comes Cadence Brewer for the first time tonight for Wapahani. Stella Davis back to serve. Lowry with a dig. Lewis will set it up to number 12, King. Summers back now to Brewer. Oh, that might have been heading out of bounds very close over there. Orm back on the attack. And again, it's the Sarah Orm show. She has 4 of Wapahani's 6 points here in the opening set. Let's keep this momentum going. Lewis again with a setup, that time again to King, and another one hit out of bounds. So now Shenandoah struggling with trying to keep the ball in bounds. A near ace. Hill on the attack. Stella Davis comes after that one. Orm again on the attack. Now Duncan. And that's going to be in front of the outstretched hands of Olivia Smith. Shenandoah will halt the little run Wapahani was on there to make it a 9-7 lead. Duncan back to serve. That should have been 4 hits. Oh, wow. That was definitely tipped by one of our players on the serve, and then it went off of Gates. And then Smith tried to hit it over. She didn't quite get it there. Then Summers punched it over. And so I think we got by with one right there. We'll definitely take it, though. So Shenandoah gets a point right back, though, now a 10-8 lead. Bridget Lowry back to serve. Hopefully I'm pronunciating that correctly. If I'm not, then I apologize. Summers gets in on the action. Collects a kill of her own on that one. Now a 10-9 ball game. Sarah Orm will be back to serve. Got a nice crowd here this evening. The fans just continue to pile in as the night has went along. The junior varsity team absolutely manhandled Shenandoah in the opening game of the night, as this game is now tied at 10. So another good game here for the Wapahani Raider junior varsity team. On the attack there was Sergei, and that one will be out of bounds. And an ace for Orm. Now a 12-10 Wapahani lead. So you can say the train has left the tracks here a little bit for Shenandoah. Number 18, Baker, back in here for Shenandoah. Orm once again back there to serve. Hit over the net by Sergai and just in front of Mallory Summers. So we'll see number 18, Kelsey Baker, back to serve. Stewart with a setup to Smith. She will hit that one right into the net, and once again we are tied at 12. Nice serve right there, dug out by Gates, set to Summers, kept alive, and it's going to be out of bounds. Really couldn't do a whole lot about that. That was great reaction time there by Wapahani. But unfortunately, just tipped a hair out of bounds. Stewart will set it up to Brewer. Tipped right back at her, though, by number 7, Lexi Price. And so now Shenandoah on a little run of their own here, making it a 14-12 lead. Well done right there, Mallory Summers. Just a soft tip over the net. Nobody was over there anywhere close to the net. Just tips it over, down in play. Easy point. Lewis with the setup. Now Stewart to Olivia Smith, and again, she'll hit that one into the net. Make it a 15-13 Shenandoah lead and set number 1 of the evening. Kept alive, and Gates will get it over. Lewis will set it up there to Price. Stewart with a tip. Duncan back on the attack, but blocked by Davis. And Shenandoah will get it over. Got to use this right here. Davis on the attack. Lewis again with a setup to Duncan. And it's going to be off of Orm and out of bounds. Gates with a dig. Stewart with a setup to Summers. And just over the head of number 16, Sergai. Summers back to serve. Wapahani down by 2. Set up that time again to Price, as the price is right. 17-14 Shenandoah. Set up to Stewart, and able to get that one again in the back row near the baseline. The back line, I guess I should say. And in comes Emma Shuck. Seeing her first action of the night. So Emma will now be back to serve. Wapahani down by 2. Dug out there by Sergai, and there's Hill on the attack and the kill. So an 18-15 Shenandoah lead. Set to Davis. Off of Lowry. So back and forth we go. Davis back to serve. We need to start rattling off some points here. Well, that will do it right there. That one will be hit out of bounds as the Raiders inch 1 point closer. 18-17. Dug out that time by Duncan. Miss-hit. And again, this time Baker hits it out of bounds. And a timeout taken by Shenandoah. We'll go ahead and take a timeout here with them. This will be our Tom Cherry Mufflers game break, tied at 18. Set number 1. All righty, welcome back here, folks. Right out of the timeout again. Wapahani ties the game here at 18 as Estella Davis will once again be back to serve. Lewis will set it up to Hill, dug out and shanked off into the crowd. As once again, Shenandoah will retake the lead. Duncan back there to serve, dug out. Summers sets it to Stewart. Off of Lowry, and nobody's going to get there in time. Well hit. Overall, just great all around the board there. Pass, set, hit. Everything worked out beautifully. Tied now at 19. Set up there. Nobody knew exactly what was going to happen. Summers on the attack, dug out that time by Lewis. And she'll hit that one right into the net. So now Wapahani leads it by 1. Allison Stewart again back to serve. And she'll serve that one out of bounds to tie it at 20. In comes Lexi Price for Shenandoah. Bridget Lowry to serve. Orm will dig it out. Just a unfortunate pass there. Really not a whole lot that Stewart could have done with that. There's Gates to Stewart to Summers. Dug out by Lowry. Lewis with a set out there to Sergei. Now Orm back on the attack again, but there's Lewis. And miss-hit. And back in comes Emma Schuck for Olivia Smith. Sarah Orm back to serve. Game tied at 21. And served into the net. So back-to-back serves have been errors for Wapahani. Skipped over the top of the net. And Lexi Price with the kill. So Shenandoah 2 points away from taking the opening set of the ball game here tonight. So hopefully Wapahani can find a way to keep that from happening. Summers will sneak that one in along the sidelines. So here's Haven Gates back to serve. A missile right there from Haven, set to Duncan. And that's going to be mishit. And again, we're tied. Now at 23. Might as well go ahead and rattle off 2 more points here if you're Wapahani. Shanked off there to the right side. Shenandoah somehow gets it over. There's Davis, and they'll get it back over again. Back to Davis, and in there for the kill. And a timeout taken here by Shenandoah. We'll go ahead and stick right here with you during the timeout. That was some great action right there. You know, you had Shenandoah got it back over a couple different times when you didn't think it'd be able to get it back across there. You was hoping for a breakdown defensively, but they really didn't show it. But luckily, a great pass and the setup by Stewart to Davis proved deadly right there for Shenandoah on that point. But hey, still anything can happen. This game's been back and forth all the way through. So 24-23. We'll see what happens here. I'd like to thank one of our sponsors here this evening, Muncie Dragway, owned by Scott and Dawn Daniels. Muncie Dragway located along State Road 67, west of Albany, Indiana. For more information on upcoming events, please visit their website at www.munciedragway.com and contact them at 765-789-8470. Again, that is Muncie Dragway. Family fun, an 8th mile at a time. So here we are, set point for Wapahani, and that's going to do it. Quick and easy as that. So Shenandoah was in the driver's seat as Wapahani was able to rattle off 4 consecutive points to win the first set 25-23. Folks, we'll go ahead and step aside here for a break. We'll be back here with set number 2 live here on the WHS Network.
You need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
Alrighty, welcome back here, folks. Getting get ready to get geared up for the second set here from Raider Gymnasium. Again, Wapahani with a 25-23 first set victory. It looked a little bleak there for a little bit. Wapahani, it's kind of going back and forth. We didn't get off to a very good start at all. Shenandoah was on us from the very get-go. But Wapahani kept battling through some things there, and like I said, had back and forth action, but luckily was able to rattle off 4 consecutive points to take the opening set of the evening, 25-23. Would like to thank some more of our sponsors here this evening. Liberty Perry Alumni Association President Richard Morris. Liberty Perry Alumni Association serves as the Wapahani Center and Selma High School alumni. Make sure to visit their online website at www.libertyperryalumni.com to get information on any events and to purchase any Wapahani-related items on their web store. Also to purchase any of the bricks, engraved bricks for the alumni brick walkway out here at Wapahani. Just simply fill out the form on the homepage of the alumni website. So a great start here for Wapahani. An ace to begin things, and it's a 1-0 lead early here in this one. Sure do greatly appreciate all of you spending some time with us here this evening on a nice little Tuesday night here of Lady Raider Volleyball. Again, we'll be back at it tomorrow night as we will be traveling to Madison Grant High School to take on the Lady Argyles. Not sure if we'll be live for that one or not. We'll kind of know more information about that come tomorrow night once we get there. Usually we don't really find out much of anything Wi-Fi, internet-wise, until we get to someplace. So once we are able to figure that out tomorrow night, then we'll make sure to have that posted on our Twitter page at WHS Network. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and like our page on Facebook. We're on Facebook there as well. And if you have somebody that hasn't subscribed yet or got onto our YouTube channel to catch the games, make sure to do so. Get on YouTube and subscribe to our page. You can get alerts, notifications on start times for games when we go live, all that great stuff. Really neat for everybody this year. As we're finally on YouTube. Kept alive there, and once again, Shenandoah able to get it back over block. Summers will just set it over the net. Back at it again, and Shenandoah will get the point. So again, another fast start here for the Shenandoah Raiders. But like they always say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We didn't start off so good in the first set either, but Hay was able to take that first set eventually as Estella Davis puts her stamp of approval on that point. Now a 4-2 ball game as we will see Mallory Summers back to serve. Mishandled, looked like that might have been Lowry and Sergei. Kind of bumped into one another and shanked it off over there to the right side for an ace for Summers. And another one mishandled by Sergei and an ace. Once again, now to tie it here at 4. Keep them coming. Dug out that time. Lewis with a set up to Price. Gates, Summers, now to Stewart. She'll punch it over and down in play. We've already seen this already about 3 or 4 different times in this ball game where one team will go on like a 4 or 5 point run, then the other team will go on another 4 or 5 point run. Wapahani started off the second set scoring the first point, then Shenandoah answered with 4 consecutive. Now Wapahani with 4 consecutive. She will hit that one out of bounds. I'm sure I probably just jinxed us on that one, so I'll take the blame on that. But nevertheless, we'll see Erica Hill and Faith Muterspaw back in here for the Raiders of Shenandoah. Muterspaw back to serve. Shuck with a dig. Set up to Stewart and dug out. Hill on the attack, tipped up in the air. The Raiders will keep it alive. Stewart will get it over. Now Duncan tries to find the back corner as that one will be off of Emma Shuck. And it's a 6-5 Shenandoah lead. Well, free volley here. Duncan on the attack as she'll hit that one into the net. We'll see number 7, Lexi Price, back in here, and now Lowry will come in for her, the old switcheroo. As Emma Shuck will be back to serve. Lewis will set it up to Hill, and nobody will get there in time. In comes Olivia Smith, acclimated back into the Raider lineup. Summers with a setup to Orm and tipped right back down by Hill. Dug out by Sarah, set to Estella, as the Raiders won't be able to handle that one. Shenandoah, that is. That's the bad thing about Raiders versus Raiders. You can never say it because nobody knows who you're talking about. Hill plummeting that ball. Audrey Duncan to serve. Gates will dig it. Summers will set it up to Brewer. Lewis now over here to Sergei. A nice defense there by Summers, but Hill executes off of the pass from Summers. Unfortunately, that didn't go too well for us. Floater serve. Summers punches it over. Lowry will set it to Sergei again. They just kind of gave up defensively. Shenandoah did on that point. Really wasn't a ball that confused them there, as Stewart will serve that one out of bounds. Orm with a dig. Stewart with a set out to Brewer. Gates will dig it out, set up, and that's going to be over the net and out of bounds. Wapahani's got to regroup here a little bit. Regroup and hopefully get the ball rolling back in their direction. 13-8. Lowry back to serve. There's Brewer set to Orm. She sets it over the net, punch back over. Nice job there by Shenandoah. Great reaction time. Kept alive by Orm. There's Lowry, Lewis, and King. Or pardon me, that was Price on that hit. Tell you what, this is some good action right there. That's even better. As Sergei hits that one right into the net. Exactly what Wapahani was needing right there. Back in comes Emma Shuck and Sarah Orm back to serve. We're in desperate need and rattling off some points here. Start with a set up to Summers. There's Lowry keeping it going. Sergei back on the attack. Very unfortunate for her. I'm sure she's, at this point, she's probably a little confused. She goes from hitting the ball into the net to hitting it about 7 to 8 feet out of bounds. So I'm sure she's searching for that happy medium as Price hits that one into the net. So here comes Wapahani again, storming right back. Got to execute on your opponent's mistakes. Gates digs it out, and nobody will get there in time, but nice hustle there by Stewart and Orm. Always love to see that. Even if you can't get to the ball, give it your best effort. Number 18, Baker, back to serve, as she'll serve that one into the net. Stella Davis back into Wapahani's lineup. Haven Gates back to serve. Lewis with a setup. And they're going to say it was hit in bounds. Looked out of bounds. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm all the way up here. They're all the way down there. Can't necessarily say a whole lot. Duncan on the attack, dug out by Gates. Stewart with a setup to Davis. There's Baker with a dig, punched across by Lewis. And Davis tried to get the soft touch over the net, but unfortunately mistimed it. So we will see number 16, Kara Sergei, back to serve. Davis on the attack, dug out there. Miscommunication. So that will cost Shenandoah a big-time point there. Another fine serve from Mallory. Duncan back on the attack and hit the antenna. Guess she was trying to check her cable stations, if they were working properly. I don't know. Just trying to keep things a little fun around here. Sometimes the games can get a little boring. So 16-15. Again, as Wapahani, not necessarily that they was out of it by any means, but have gotten themselves right back into the thick of things as Shenandoah scores the 17th point. Again, yeah, I'll take blame for that one too, Redbeard. I appreciate you letting me know that I might have jinxed us again. So Muter's Paw back to serve here with a 2-point lead in set number 2 of the evening. Again, if you're just now joining us, Wapahani took the first set 25-23. So a very important second set. And Shenandoah, I don't know, some of these points, it looks like they've hit the relax button here a little bit. You know, defensively, a ball is hit and nobody wants to go after it. Whereas, you know, it works out for us, but just a little surprising. See more miscommunication there. We've got to capitalize off of that, and that's exactly what happens by Sarah Orm collecting with the kill. Floater serve there by Emma. That looked like that was 2 hits. Nice job of keeping that one alive. And buried by Estella Davis. As Wapahani retakes the lead, 18-17. Emma Shuck still back to serve. Mishandled there by Baker, and they'll get it across. Summers with the setup to Orm. Tipped. Now Davis will get it back across. Hill on the attack and blocked again. A lot of action. Very little time. 19-17. Shenandoah takes a timeout. We'll take a timeout right here with them. Wapahani leads at 19-17, set number 2. We'll be back right after the commercial break here on the WHS Network.
Stop on in at Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Fannin in 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been serving the community for over 30 years. Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality.
Welcome back here, folks. Again, this is Brandon Morvillius. Alongside with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy, getting back to action here in set number 2. Wapahani with a 19-17 lead. And again, it wasn't all peaches and cream, so to speak. Didn't start out very good. Then we went on a little bit of a run. Then Shenandoah with a run of their own. It was just, that back and forth, 3 or 4 points here, 3 or 4 points there. And then 1 point here, 1 point there, and so on and so forth. But Wapahani again has went on another one of their runs, as that was a good old-fashioned stuffing from Estella Davis, providing some Thanksgiving early here for Shenandoah. But it's been a lot of that back and forth hit and miss for both teams. And right now, Shenandoah is missing big time. I think this is now pretty close to 6 consecutive points here for Wapahani. Lewis with the setup to Duncan. Now Stewart on the attack, dug out that time by Baker. Duncan again on the attack. Nice hands by Orm. And she'll get it down, nearly down in play. I thought that was for a second. Stewart, as that's going to be tipped up in the air. A point for Wapahani. I thought for a second he wasn't going to call the tip. I was like, oh no. We've already experienced a couple different times where some calls could have been, went the other way, but luckily that time it wasn't. That one's hit out of bounds by Hill. And again, Shenandoah, the wheels have fell off here for him. Right there in the thick of things. And in the net, called on Shenandoah this time. And now it's set point here for Wapahani. Nice hustle. Shuck lays out for it. Summers tries to find that back corner. Hill with the left hand. Got to use this. Orm on the attack. Yes! Raiders win the second set, 25-17. And they now lead it 2-0. Folks, we'll step aside here for a break on the WHS Network. Again, we'll be live here with the third set coming up right after the break.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back here. Brandon Williams again alongside with me as cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Our Tom Cherry Mufflers game break. Wapahani again leads at 2-0, 25-23, 25-17. Like to thank Tom Cherry Mufflers, located at 321 West 8th Street in Muncie, Indiana. Since 1946, Tom Cherry Mufflers has taken care of your exhaust, brakes, shocks, struts, and mufflers. So if you want the underneath of your car to be looked at, you can get a hold of Tom Cherry Mufflers at 765-289-4116. No appointment needed, though. They'll hear you coming. Also, I'd like to thank B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, located at 400 East Jackson Street in Muncie, Indiana. At the law offices of B. Joseph Davis, which is a highly recommended and respected professional corporation, they strive to aggressively represent all of their clients' interests in all phases of any legal matter. Their team has extensive experience in personal injury, criminal defense, which also includes drunk driving and criminal record, as well as bankruptcy expungements and hardship licenses. For more information, you can visit his website at www.bjosephdavis.com. Also, Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC dealership owned by Randy Stoops. They're located at 4055 West Clara Lane in Muncie, Indiana. Stoops has a wide variety of brand new and pre-owned vehicles of quality brand names. If you have an interest in or like to have more information about a vehicle, you can contact Stoops at 765-288-1903 and also visit their online website at stoopsauto.com. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. We're also open Saturday from 8 to 4. So special thanks there to Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC dealership. Stoops is driven to be the best. So I guess a little brief pause in the action here. Not sure if the lineups are correct. I don't know how they can't be. I mean, we're starting out the set. You have the numbers on the sheet. The numbers that are on the sheet should be out there in the correct position. So it looks like we're finally ready to go. As we will see Sergei back there to serve. Gates will dig it out. Stewart with a set up to Davis. And in the net violation called on Wapahani. You know, and I touched on this in our pregame here this evening. You know, the importance of getting off to a good start is so great. You know, you never want to get out of the gate playing bad, you know, because then you're just playing catch-up the whole entire time. Nobody likes that. Wapahani, though, for some oddly known reason, has gotten off to a bad start in all three sets of this evening's games, but somehow, miraculously, in the end, have found a way to win the first two sets. Now, with that said, I wouldn't recommend getting off to a bad start every single game because more times than that, that's probably going to come back to bite you. But the main thing is, I guess one thing you really want to learn from is the fact of, yeah, you're getting off to a bad start, but you're not packing up shop and you know, giving in whatsoever. You know, they're continuing to battle, continuing to fight, claw their way back, and they're able to find a little bit of momentum and ride it for a good majority of the way through the ball game. You know, you look back at that second set, I think we end up rattling off 10 points in a row. That's never a good thing if you're on the opposing side of that. But, you know, now here if you're Wapahani, you got to keep the foot on the gas. You're up 2-0. You can't let Shenandoah get any kind of confidence or momentum going. You got to just end the game right here. Set to Davis. Nearly mistimed and hit into the net by Hill. And we'll see number 7, Lexi Price, reinstalled into Shenandoah's lineup. Emma Shuck will be back to serve here for Wapahani. Dug out by Sergei. Lewis with a setup to Hill. Gates flying through the air and will get there. Now Orm back on the attack. Hill again as Summers will lay out for the dig. Set to Orm and in there for a kill. Other than a couple of little mistakes here and there, Orm has had a very solid ball game here for Wapahani. Very, very solid. And you got to have all facets of the game going correctly for yourself. With attack and serving, passing, setting, everything defensively. Being able to get some blocks in there. Everybody doing their job on the back row. Everything has got to be going correctly in order to win ball games. And you've seen, sometimes, maybe, we've had throughout the season here, maybe one or two people's had, a little bit of a bad game, but other people have stepped up. That's what you got to have. That's good role play and being able to find ways to win, even though everybody might not be playing up to par, so to speak. So when you're able to find that from multiple girls here on the team, that is big time. Everybody's got to contribute. Summers with the setup, and that was over the net. That looked like she touched that. And they're going to say that she didn't. Alrighty. Looked like to me she did, but I'm not the referee, so I don't make those decisions. I just call the action. Hit out of bounds, and now an 8-3 Shenandoah lead. So again, this isn't the first time we've seen this happen. But hopefully Wapahani can string some points together. Nice job right there by number 12, King, as that ball will be hit out of bounds by Shenandoah. So here come the Raiders. We'll see Cadence Brewer back into the Raider lineup. And Stella Davis back to serve. Lowry with the dig, set up to Hill. Smith with some defensive action. Lewis again back to Hill, punches that one over. Got to use this one. Not the best of sets, but hey, it will do. Shenandoah will hit that one out of bounds. An 8-5 lead, now make it 8-6. Let's see if we can continue this run we're on here. That's it's funny how the game is, folks. We've seen this all game long. One team will go on a run, then the other team will go on a run, so on and so forth. That's the way that it has been the whole entire night. Great hustle there from Olivia Smith. Nearly got to that one. As now we will see Haven Gates back in there. Now serving for Shenandoah, number 5, Audrey Duncan. Gates digs at Summers to Orm. Blocked, but nice hands there by Smith. Now Stewart on the attack, and that will land in there as that was mishit by Jayla Lewis. So a job well done by Wapahani on that point. Allison Stewart back to serve. And that will be an ace. Had a real nice backspin diving action. Another one nearly missed Hine, but Hill able to stay up in the air long enough to tip it over and find some real estate. Summers with the kill. Putting the hammer down on that one. In comes Emma Shuck. Great serve there by Sarah. And would have been free ball, but hit into the net, and now we're tied. So the woes continue here for Shenandoah. They get in the driver's seat. And once they get in the driver's seat, it's like they forget how to drive. The wheels fall off. And Wapahani is there to execute on the opportunity. Set to Summers, and again finding some open space. A well-placed ball. And looks like we'll see number 8, Jenna Stewart, in here for the first time of the evening. I think old Josh McIntyre, coach here for Shenandoah, is starting to kind of have enough of what he's seen here this evening. And, you know, the funniest thing about it is Shenandoah really is actually, not played all that horrible. It's just the times that they have, it's just been unfortunate timing. Then other parts of the game, things have went rather well for them. It's just being able to put it all together. They haven't been able to do that. Wapahani hasn't done an overly great job of it themselves, but we've at least able to keep ourselves close enough in the ball game to come back and win in both of the sets that we've played so far. Dug out, set now to Shuck, actually Stewart will take that one. There's Sergei. Orm with the dig. Summers will set it to Brewer. Tipped. Nice reaction. Now Summers on the attack. Kept alive again. Set to Sergei. And that's going to be hit out of bounds. Great court vision by Haven Gates, by the way. Well-placed ball, but she knew exactly where she was on the court. That was just a hair out of bounds. Great job there by Haven. Mishandled there, but Lewis really saved her. Orm with the dig. Stewart now to Davis. Blocked again. Great reaction. Here we go again, round number 2. And it's going to be hit out of bounds. So now we're tied at 13. Summers unloads on one. Now Duncan with the attack. Dug by Gates. Set to Davis. Yes, sir. And yes, ma'am. The Raiders will lead it now 14-13. Tipped right across there by Estella Davis. Lewis will set that one up. There's Shuck. Summers back over to Stewart. Set that one now to Emma. That's going to head out of bounds and off the lights. up in the rafters. Now it's a 16-13 lead for Wapahani. Tipped up in the air. Set back to Stewart on the attack, and another one. A kill for Allison. So Wapahani will now lead it by 4. Just 8 points away from taking the old ball game. Punched across by Lowry. Summers back to Stewart again. There's Sergei. Great hands by Summers. Shuck with the soft little tip. And hit well out of bounds by Duncan. And a timeout by Shenandoah. So again, we'll pause for the Tom Cherry Mufflers game break. We'll be back right after this. All righty, folks, welcome back to the action here. 18-13, Wapahani leads here in set number 3. Again, they own a 2-0 lead, 25-23, 25-17, and are 7 points away from taking this one in straight sets up on top of the rafters. Their nice job by Wapahani to get it back over and able to score a point. That was kind of a lack of focus on behalf of Shenandoah on that point. So Wapahani able to execute there, and Summers will hit that one just a hair out of bounds. Back in comes Kelsey Baker. There's Shuck, Gates, and Orm. Dug out by Sergei. Hill will punch it across. Davis gets it to land in. Didn't necessarily do a whole lot right there, but did just enough. And hey, that's all that matters. Emma Shuck back to serve. Wapahani 5 points away. Set to Hill, and she'll put everything behind that one. In comes Olivia Smith. And now serving for Shenandoah will be number 2, Jayla Lewis. Set to Orm. Nicely done by Sarah. Great set by Allison. It's a 21-15 lead. And substitution now back in here for Shenandoah by number 8, Jenna Stewart. Stella Davis back to serve. Cadence Brewer also in the ball game now for Wapahani. Hill to get the kill. Duncan back to serve. A 5-point lead for Wapahani. Set to Brewer. And I think Shenandoah is just kind of cashed in at this point. Just kind of tell, you can tell a lot by body language. And I think they're more ready to just get on the bus and head back than anything else. Kept alive, and Wapahani will hit that one out of bounds. So Shenandoah keeps things are moving. 22-17, Wapahani. Bridget Lowry back to serve. Mishandled by Brewer. Now it's 22-18. Orm on the attack. And Lowry with the setup to Sergei. Orm again. Dug out by Lowry. And Sergei on the attack. Now noticing a trend here. Brewer now will hit that one out of bounds. Start with a setup to Orm, and that will halt that little spurt of points there by Shenandoah. As Emma Schuck will return to the Raider lineup, Sarah Orm will be back to serve. Lewis with the setup to King, blocked. And the Raiders are now 1 point away from taking tonight's game in straight sets. Sarah Orm back to serve for game point. Lowry with a dig, set over to Sergei, and Gates to Stewart, over to Summers. Yes! And your Wapahani Lady Raiders win it. Straight set victory here tonight, 25-23, 25-17, 25-19. 10-2 now on the season, folks. We'll step aside here for a break. We'll be back with our Raiders Live post-game edition, live here on the WHS Network. All righty, welcome back here, folks, to the Raiders Live post-game edition presented by Tom Cherry Mufflers. Again, the Wapahani Raiders here on the smiling side of the scoreboard here this evening. 25-23, 25-17, 25-19. Straight set victory over the Shenandoah Lady Raiders. Again, Wapahani now improves to 10-2 on the year and 4-0 in conference. So a big-time win here for Wapahani here this evening. And, again, like I mentioned throughout the whole entire ball game here, it wasn't pretty for a good majority of the game here. You know, there was definitely some mistakes that we had made. Obviously, it all started because we weren't able to get off to a very good start. But one thing I really liked a lot was the I guess the drive that we had, that to keep pushing forward and not to give up, and to keep fighting out there. Not saying, oh, we're already down early in this one. Is this how it's going to be the whole entire set? Whatever the case might be. They didn't think that. They just kept trucking along, and you found yourself down 23-21 in the first set, rattled off 4 consecutive points. Then in the second set, Wapahani was down 17-15. Raiders, Wapahani found a way to rattle off 10 points in a row to take a 25-17 second set victory. And then here in the third set as well, didn't get off to a very good start, but found our way through it and was able to get a good victory here tonight. And that's what you want to see. You want to get off to a better start. But we played pretty good. Yes, we did make mistakes, don't get me wrong, but I still really like, how we went out there and went about our business, when things weren't always looking all that great for us and things weren't coming very easily. We was able to still battle and fight through fight throughout the ball game and was able to get us the victory. So that's one of the more important things about it, and really can help you along through a lot of tough games like that. When you think, hey, if we don't get off to a good start, we're not going to win. Well, you just got to keep plugging at it, keep going, getting after it and going through it, and hopefully find your way with the victory. And that's exactly what Wapahani did here tonight. So great job there by the Raiders, and hopefully they'll be ready to continue this tomorrow night. A tough task heading to Madison Grant. I know in the last couple years or so the program's been a little bit down. But I'll tell you what, before that was a big-time powerhouse of a volleyball program. So a team you can never overlook, especially in their home gym. So Wapahani's going to come out ready to play tomorrow night. That's going to be a big-time game against the Lady Argyles of Madison Grant. So again, we'll be broadcasting that one tomorrow night. Not sure if we'll be live or not, but we will be there. If we aren't live, or even if we are, we'll make sure and put that on our Twitter page. So make sure to follow us on Twitter at WHS Network, and also like our Facebook page. That's also WHS Network. So very simple. And then also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel on YouTube, make sure to do so. Subscribe to us there. Again, WHS Network. Very, very simple. Just click the subscribe button, and then the alerts. You'll be able to get the alerts and notifications every ball game that we have live. You'll know exactly when the game will start, everything that goes along with it, and you'll be able to hopefully enjoy a great broadcast from myself and Redbeard. So again, we greatly appreciate all of our sponsors this evening: Jones Auto Body, Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC Dealership, University Avenue Dental, Greg Pyle DDS, B. Joseph Davis, Attorney at Law, Muncie Dragway, FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook and Joanne Davis, Tom Cherry Mufflers, The Barn Lot, as well as the Liberty Perry Alumni Association. And again, a huge thanks to our good friends there at Harris Chapel Church, Pastor Jim Ballinger and his wife Janie, for being one of our sponsors this year. Make sure to stop on in there every week for a beautiful Sunday morning service at 10:15. So, folks, this has been Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Again, thanking all of you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night right back here on the WHS Network, and have a great night.